This video is on the rocks of the Carver Agate Field. You'll be seeing pictures of the shop and the specimens that have been cut and polished to date. Everything you see in the shop here, with the exception of some amazonite and smoky quartz crystals, are from the Carver Agate Field. And what I'm going to be showing you here today is the stuff that I'm cutting right now, that I've cut this week, and the interesting pile of rocks that it came from. A little bit of explanation probably is in order. What I'm showing you right here is a piece of lava, and in it is an almond-shaped stone that's polished. That's called a nodule. If it was hollow, it would be called a geode. That's what we're finding to a large extent on the Carver Agate Field. There are lots of jaspers and vein agates as well, but today we're talking about mostly nodules. This is a small nodule still in the lava. This is a large nodule that was in lava. The lava eventually was eaten up by either weather, in terms of wind, or rain, and we find them laying on top of the ground. I'm going to be showing you a lot of smaller nodules that I've been cutting this week to show you how the different nodules have different colors and patterns. They're incredibly diverse. That's what this video is supposed to do. This week, when I was looking for some things to do this winter, I dumped out a joint compound bucket, and you see the contents of it here. These are rocks from the Carver Agate Field, and if you come in and get a closer look at them, you can see that they have all kinds of shapes, and they're all sizes. Some of them are larger than others, but these are all from the Carver Agate Field. They were found on top of the ground. And now I'm going to show you what I got out of my first cutting this week, which is indicative of the diversity of the material, how each of the pieces is very, very different than the others. The first one you can see is a banded agate. It was a large stone. It's blue and white bands. And this again would be a nodule that came out of lava that was eroded away by wind and water. The next one you can see is a green geode, and green agate is quite rare, I think, anywhere, and in particular it's rare on the Carver Agate Field. I'm showing you this primarily because it's another color. We've seen blue, now we see green. Next we see one that isn't banded. It's from the deep pit, so-called, as I named it, of the Carver Agate Field. It has a white or a yellowish rind, and it has blue coloration in the middle, oftentimes without banding. The banding in this stone is just around the outside here. The middle is the euhedral quartz center. It's pretty stuff, and it's different. It's blue. Here's another one, not from the deep pit, a blue banded agate. This nodule, as you can see, was long and narrow, and when cut, it had a very perfect pattern and was a beautiful blue agate, but different looking than the other two blue agates. Here is another nodule that has the incredibly different kinds of sagenitic material that make up these nodules and agates. This is really just a beautiful, beautiful picture of one, and one I recently gave to my granddaughter for Valentine's Day. It was a slab out of this stone. These two stones, again, show the diversity. It's a beige and purple banded agate, perfect in its form. It made a beautiful cab out of the middle, but you can see how different it is from the other 2 or 3 kinds of agates that you've just seen. Here's a green agate. It doesn't have much sagenitic material. It's really a geode. It's got a tiny little void in the center. Just a pretty little agate, but again, sort of a brownish green color. And again, it shows you how varied are the various colors and patterns and types of agates from the Carver Agate Field. And here we have a yellow agate, rather perfect in its form. It's a nodule. It doesn't have a hollow center, but it has perfect pattern, and it has sagenitic material down here on the bottom, which makes it a little more interesting. And then here is no sagenitic material. This is an agate that's sort of a pinkish color, perfect in its form, and pink, again, a color we hadn't seen at least today until now. So in total, what we're looking at then is a number of different colors, different shapes and types of agates. And this is a vein agate. This is botryoidal, named after grapes, I think, agate. This is not a nodule, it's a vein agate. It is agate that forms in a seam or crack in the agate. Stop. Just to let you know that everything we pick up out there on the Carver Agate Field is not all beautiful and wonderful. This is the sort of discard pile from the ones that I cut while I was cutting the ones that I just showed you. You can see not too great, not too wonderful. It was broken on one side. Here's one that's a geode, but no great pattern to it. Nothing very interesting. Here's one that was kind of muddy in terms of the center, not much interesting there. There's the rest of the other piece that I cut that I showed you. It has a little bit of pink amethyst going on, but not enough to really be worth talking about. Here's one that had no pattern, no sagenitic material in it at all, just not really too interesting. And there's another one that has an agate center, but it isn't of great interest like the stuff you see on my walls. And here's one, just a gray agate, not terribly interesting. So the point of my comment is not everything is perfect here. We get a lot of waste for what we actually get that's interesting, but the walls that you're going to see here through the pictures of the shop show you the very interesting and diverse nature of the agates of the Carver Agate Field. Hope you enjoy them. Thanks.